Udah cantik loh anak.
Apa, Din?
Udah cantik. Bertacap-tacap dia.
Soalnya nampak kali ke antu aku. Pucat.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss.
Hi, sorry about my lateness. We were having a network connection issue with the branch. I had to find another office to sit in, so I apologize for that.
Yes, ma'am, it's okay. Thank you for joining us. But
Yeah, of course. I'm always happy to chat with students.
yes, first, please excuse me, Miss, if our English is not very fluent, but we will try our best, and I hope you understand.
Yep. I'm sure that we'll come to it. I'm sure that we'll be just fine. Yep.
Yeah, Miss.
Okay.
But our lecturer is experiencing a slight delay and will be joining us shortly. Would you mind if I want it to a few minutes before continue?
Yes, that's fine.
Yes.
So are you all in the same program?
Yes, Miss.
And are you in your first year?
Second years, Miss.
Second year. Is it a 2-year program?
Sorry, Miss, I can understand.
Oh, that's okay. How long is your program? Your degree? 1 year, 2 years?
4 years, Miss.
4 years. Okay, so you're in the middle.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
All right, Miss. I guess we will start without our lecturer. But once again, I will warning that our English is not fluent. So I hope you understand. I hope you patient with us. Okay.
Yes, of course. I am so happy to meet you all and to speak with you today.
Good morning or good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are truly grateful for your time and presence in this focus group discussion. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Cherin Pebina Sembiring, and I'm from the Department of Library and Information Science at the University of North Sumatra, Indonesia. And will be a moderator for today's discussion. Now, I like to introduce my team members who are joining us this session with me. There are Cindy, Zahra, and Anna. Could you please introduce yourself?
Oh, me or
Team member.
oh, are your members are going to introduce themselves? Okay.
My name is Cindy Putri Rifani Anggraini, Miss.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Marliana Miss.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Zahra Ajiziah, Miss.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you everyone. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome our incredible guest, Ms. Jennifer Fogg from Oakville Public Library in Canada. Ms. Jennifer, thank you so much for agreeing to join us today. Would you like to say hello and introduce yourself for the group?
Of course. Hi, everyone. So I'm Jennifer. I work at Oakville Public Library, which is a town in Canada that's close to Toronto. And I'm a branch supervisor and have been so for about 6 months now.
Okay, thank you, Ms. for introduction and for being here with us. Before we start with the questions, let me briefly explain the purpose of our discussion today. This focus group discussion is part of our academic project where we hope to learn from your experiences and insights as a library professional. Our goal is to exchange knowledge and perspectives about library management, services, and international collaboration. We really appreciate your willingness to share your thoughts with us. All right, Ms. Jennifer, to start our discussion, we are very interested to learn about your role as a branch supervisor at OPL. We believe that understanding your responsibilities will give us valuable insight into the daily operations and management of public libraries. So, our first question is, what are your main responsibilities as a branch supervisor at OPL?
So my primary responsibilities as a branch supervisor are taking care of the operational needs of the branch. So when you work in a public library like ours, most staff are responsible for things like taking care of the collections, like books, helping customers, helping people find things. When you enter my role, you start to become responsible for things like scheduling, deciding when staff are going to be at the branch, payroll, making sure people get paid, which is important, taking care of purchasing things for the branch, and also guiding larger projects to do with collections, and everything to do with the library operations, basically making sure that things are clean, functioning properly, people are happy, dealing with customer issues if someone's upset, stuff like that.
Okay, thank you so much for the detailed explanation, Ms. Jennifer. It's very helpful to understand the scope of your responsibilities. Building on that, we're also interested in how you manage the different aspects of your role, especially balancing administrative duties with community engagement. So our next question is, how do you balance administrative duties with community engagement roles?
So the administrative duties have to come first because that's core to my role, is making sure that the branch is operating and everything is as it should be, that everyone is where they need to be when they need to be there. As far as community engagement, that's the aspect of my role where we start to think about special projects like special events, programs, things that we can do to engage the community and also to respond to community needs. So, for instance, if if we have a lot of newcomers coming in from a new country. So, for example, like there was a war in Ukraine. We had a lot of newcomers who came to Oakville as a result of that. So, one way that we responded to the new community need was to add more Ukrainian materials to the collection. So, kind of responding to things like that, and coordinating outreach events. So, outreach is when people leave the branch to go visit schools or to go visit like special events in the community, just to kind of be a presence and expand the reach of the library beyond just the library space.
Concerning how you balance administrative and community-related tasks, it's interesting to hear about your approach. Now, we like to delve deep here into how you measure success and manage your team. Could you please tell us what performance indicators do you use to measure brand success, and how is the decision making delegated within your brand team?
So there's two different levels of leadership. There's the manager, who is like the person who is properly in charge of everything, who has the primary authority over the branch. And then there's me underneath. So I report to her, and whatever responsibilities or projects she wants completed on top of my duties, I complete. And then branch staff underneath are the ones who are actually doing the project work, taking care of the branch. There are two different tiers of customer service staff. So we have our customer service technicians who are, they're not in charge. They don't run special projects for the most part. And then we have our customer information specialists who have the library education and are more likely to like be responsible and have some decision making responsibilities. I like to make things as collaborative as possible because I really value my staff's perspectives, and I like getting everyone's input when we're making decisions for how to run things or how to change things in the branch. But that's kind of the chain of hierarchy is manager, supervisor, customer information specialists, customer service technicians, and working together as best as we can. And as far as performance indicators, sorry, that was the first part of your question. Performance indicator number one is everything happening when it's supposed to happen? Like, is the work getting done? Because if it's not, then that means the timeline for the work might need to change, or the scope of the work, the amount that's been assigned for that time isn't appropriate. So when you all become managers, that's something to think about.
Thank you for insight into your performance metrics and team management. Now moving to library services and collection development, we are curious about how you ensure your collection meets the needs of your community. Could you share your thoughts of these questions? How do you decide which materials or resources to acquire or remove? Is there a formal process for collecting user feedback on library services? And how do you ensure the collection remains inclusive and reflective to the diverse communities?
Yeah. So that's two-part question. So there are multiple processes for collecting user feedback. We collect comments at the desk when people come to visit us. If they have something that they would like to share or they would like passed along to leadership, then we invite them to do so. We have customer feedback forms as well if people don't want to speak to us, but they want to submit like a written note. We collect feedback over email. We collect feedback through our website. If anyone has anything to say to us, there are multiple different ways for them to communicate that basically. We also have a suggest a purchase button. So if there is someone has identified an item that they would like to see in the collection, like a need that way, then we have a way for them to suggest that directly. As for the collection, like how to ensure that it remains inclusive and diverse, we have different like diversity, equity, and inclusion categories that we make sure that we are purchasing for. So whenever we review our collection or whenever we are ordering new materials, we make sure to have a portion, like a representative portion that meets the needs of the community and like make sure that we're reflecting like the beautiful diverse world that we're living in because we want to make sure that we have something for everyone.
Okay, thank you for explaining your approach to collection development and user feedback. Now, so let's shift our focus to technology and innovation. We are interested in learning how technology has impacted your library and its services. Could you elaborate on the following? What these digital services or platforms have had the greatest impact on user engagement? Has your branch adopt AI or machine learning tools in any form? And how do you evaluate the effectiveness of digital library programs?
Sure. So for what digital services or platforms have had the greatest impact on user engagement? I would say like certainly in the past decade or so, all of our platforms that involve ebooks and audiobooks, like just digital library materials, have probably expanded our reach the most. Um, Ever since libraries introduced having like computers and internet access through the branch, that has made a large impact as well, just that accessibility of having that technology available. But for digital services or platforms, like those are probably the top three. So we at Oakville Public Library, we use Cloud Library, which is our ebook and audiobook platform primarily, and then also Hoopla Digital, which is kind of like Netflix for libraries. So it has ebooks, audiobooks, music, movies, documentaries, all stuff like that. So those are probably like our top most popular resources that way right now. Um, has our branch adopted AI or machine learning tools? Not not formally. Staff have been encouraged to explore using AI tools for things like reader's advisory. But we find that the technology is not at the point where it's reliable enough that we can use it all the time or that we would want to. There's so far like no good replacement for like knowing your collection and knowing how to respond to customer needs. I believe on our website we do have an AI chatbot now, but that's the extent of it. So we have not integrated AI into our operations like a lot. And how do we evaluate the effectiveness of digital literacy programs? Well, popularity, circulation for one, but then for digital literacy programs like teaching people about how to use technology, that's participation. So the more people show up, the more successful we know it is, and there's still quite a lot of community demand for assistance with things like that.
Wow, that's a great explanation how you adopt a technology in your library. That so insightful because maybe we can adopt it in our library in our university, Miss. Now, before we move on, I like to give my team members a chance to ask the following up questions. The floor is yours, Cindy.
First, Miss, we believe that libraries play an important role in the community, and partnership can be a powerful tool for expanding their reach. Can you share with us? Are there any partnership with schools or local government that directly benefit your library branch? And can you share an example of a collaborative project that significantly impact your patrons?
Yeah. So the way that we run partnerships in Oakville is we have a town. There are different library branches all over the city, and near your branch, you have an area, a service area that you're responsible for. So all the schools, community centers, like local like nonprofit organizations that are in your little map, those are your partnership responsibilities. So at the branch that I'm at, we have multiple primary schools for little kids. We have a high school that's right across the street, basically. We're connected to a community center as well, and we collaborate with them on a lot. So we're constantly looking for opportunities to like strengthen our reach and strengthen those community relationships because you're right, it is important, and that is an important part of our role that people outside of the library field don't realize like how much work we do for things like that. So one recent example, because it's towards the end of the school year here, is staff do a lot of class visits. So a lot of people go to visit schools and do a story time or a presentation for children, just to basically teach them what the library is about and what the library has to offer them. And that's probably the majority of the work that we do as far as community engagement. So we'll also go to special events like conferences, community events like markets, seasonal events, stuff like that. But connecting with students, like connecting with the youth in the community is probably like the bulk of our work doing outreach. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your experience with collaboration projects, Miss. Now, I'd like to open the floor to any questions from my team, Marliana.
Oke, Miss. Yang Okay. Now let's discuss some of the challenges the libraries face. We understand that managing a library can be challenging, so our interest is in hearing about your experience. Could you tell us what are the biggest challenges your branch currently face? How do you deal with issues like book theft, vandalism, or disruptive behavior in the library? And has the branch face budget cuts currently? If so, how did you adapt?
Okay. So the biggest challenges that our branch, like all libraries, faces like just not enough budget to go around to begin with. We have not recently faced, but knock wood, that it doesn't come down the pipe anytime soon. Like fingers crossed that we're not dealing with anything like that. In the past, when we have dealt with budget cuts, you start with rolling back hours or services. Like in other libraries that I've worked at, that's part of the primary response, is looking for where you can do less. And the goal would like you want to preserve jobs. You want to make sure that no one is fired where possible. So where can you scale back? Sometimes that means changing your operating hours, so reducing the time that you're open, reallocating budget towards other things. Thankfully, that's not something that we've had to worry about recently, but that's kind of the first step is what can you do without? Like when you're budgeting at home too, right? Like what is essential and what is not essential and needs to be dropped in order to maintain as much core service available to the community as possible. For issues that our branch actually does like face regularly now, not a lot, thankfully. Like we're quite lucky at this location. People are mostly well behaved and we don't deal with too many problems. Vandalism does happen occasionally. Not just here, but at other locations in the city. And the primary response is if it's just a mess, then we put in a facilities ticket, we have it cleaned up, we alert staff and let them know that something happened. But other than that, like it's just an expense. It's just an inconvenience, basically. Um, book theft. If someone doesn't return a library book or an item on time, then they are charged for like a lost item fee. If things go walking out the branch and we have no way to trace who took it, then it's just the cost of doing business. So that just counts as a loss. If the item is worth replacing, then we replace the item. If it's not, then there it goes. Disruptive behavior. So that's different. So we have a lot of teenagers in our branch, and teenagers behave the way that they behave. So we're not a traditional library in the sense that we don't expect things to be very silent all the time. We view ourselves as a community hub, so we want people to be able to socialize and enjoy being here and spending time with their friends, studying, etc. If people are getting so loud that it's disrupting other people's experience of the library, like they're getting in the way of other people's enjoyment, or if things are crossing into the line where something unsafe is happening, like kids are being too rowdy, or it looks like somebody's damaging something, then we directly address that in the moment. We approach them and we say, like, we're so sorry, like that's not appropriate behavior. If you wouldn't mind like stepping outside and having that loud conversation, or like please don't bounce off my furniture like that. um, then usually people are good about quieting down and starting to behave. If they're not, then we escalate to asking them to leave. If the behavior continues or if things get worse, then we would call in emergency services, but that does not happen often. Oh, there
Okay.
you go.
Thank you for sharing these insights into challenges you face and how you overcome them. Now, the following question, I'd like to give my team members Zahra to ask any following question.
Okay, sure. Let's move on to the important topic of diversity and inclusion. Libraries have a responsibility to serve all members of the communities who were interested in learning about your effort in this area. Could you please share how do you ensure library service are, are, are
Accessible.
accessible for
Yep.
patrons with disabilities? And what steps does your brain take which marginalized or underrepresented groups in your area?
Okay, so we ensure accessibility in multiple ways. One thing that we do when we're setting up the branch at base is making sure that things are physically accessible for as many people as possible. So our bathrooms, for instance, they have like accessible like rods next to toilets, etc. So people who have trouble sitting down or getting up or moving have mobility aids. We ensure that furniture is spaced wide enough apart so that if anyone who comes in and they have trouble walking, or if they're using an assistive device like a wheelchair, that they have space to move around. So that's very important for making sure that someone who has those needs does not need special treatment, that they can access everything the same way anyone else can. Um, we ensure that all of our books are risen. We don't put things on the bottom shelves of our library shelves so that people don't have to bend down. For people who have trouble physically moving that way, they don't need to reach or injure themselves in order to access materials. So there's all of that is just the way that we physically set up the space to be accessible as best as we can. We also have specialized services for people with hearing impairments. We have things called daisy readers and There's another one. There's two different things, but basically it's specialized audiobooks for people who specifically have hearing impairment. It's called described audio. So that's a special service that we offer. We offer tablets that can be uploaded with special audiobooks and taken home with specialized software that is specifically for people who have hearing or visual disabilities. So that's one thing that we do. Other steps that we take to engage with marginalized or underrepresented groups in the area. So that goes back to your collections question a little bit. We make sure that we have things that are available for everyone, that are of interest to everyone. So that can be a diverse representation. So we make sure that we have fiction, movies, music, fun things that appeal to everyone, not just one audience. We also have multilingual collections. So our collections are not just in English. We also have like Urdu, Arabic, Mandarin, etc. They're not, those collections are not as large because we are a primarily English speaking city, but we do try to make sure that we have a little something for as many people as possible. And then also staff training. So that's another component, setting up the space, making sure that we have services and materials that everyone might like, and also making sure that our staff are coming into their workday with the goal of being as inclusive and as friendly to everyone as they possibly can be, and like rising to scenarios with like meeting needs with compassion and making sure that we're finding ways to be flexible to meet individual needs where we can.
That's very interesting, Miss. Thank you for sharing insight on diversity and inclusion. That's a very clear explanation, and we are so amazed for your explanation. But finally, let's look to the future. We are curious to hear your thoughts about the future of public libraries and what advice you would give to aspiring library professionals. So our final question are, how do you see the role of public libraries evolving over the next decade? If you could introduce one new major initiative without budget constraints, what would it be and why? And what advice would you give to future professionals who aspire to manage or lead public libraries?
Great questions. So for the first one, how do I see the role of public libraries evolving? Technology is going to change. It's going to continue to change faster than the public can keep up with. So right now, as different like government services transition to digital, a large portion of our population, the people we service, don't have the skills to navigate those platforms anymore. So libraries have come in as a way to assist with that. So I see that continuing as well. As housing becomes harder to afford, and as like third spaces in public become harder to access and more expensive, I see libraries as a third space, as a place to go to gather and meet and study and socialize and spend time with your friends. I see the need for us to fill that role intensifying, becoming more important. So that's two different things that are probably going to change. Hopefully that's everything moving in a positive direction. Things in North America with book bannings, etc. There's a lot of debate around the role of libraries right now. I hope that we continue to be able to do the good work that we do. A lot hangs over the next couple of years, so we'll see how things go. And just increasing like technology access to, like, as things change, the accessibility with like 3D printers is one good example. So 10 years ago, that was a really expensive, not accessible type of technology. Now it's actually quite common for public libraries in North America to have one. Maybe not at every branch, but at least in the system to make sure that the public does have an opportunity to learn how to use it. So things like that, like trending things as they come up. That's something that we'll be responding to. Um, Trying to position ourselves in a way that we can guide the conversation on artificial intelligence as well, because the more popular that becomes, the more the public will have questions, and we have to be able to respond and help people learn. So those are probably sort of my top trends where I see things going. If I could introduce one new major initiative, like my dream initiative, like money is no object, I can spend however much money I want, I would love to have a community kitchen. So most libraries don't have those here because they are like the insurance is expensive, the programming is expensive to run. But I think that like being able to teach kids cooking skills, like so important, and just being able to feed people and having um, like having a place to gather and like eat food and socialize in that way, that would be so special because that's how you really bond people and build a community. So if 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 I could design a library to run myself, then there would be a kitchen involved. So that's my dream. Not everyone would say the same thing, but that's what I would love to see that introduced at some point. And some libraries do that, just we don't have the money for that right now. Finally, what advice would I give to future professionals who aspire to manage or lead public libraries? So do what you're doing now, like talk to people, like learn from other library professionals. You're doing all the right things because everyone has something different to share. But for like basically for how I like managed to trend my career in this way, how I managed to go from librarian to supervisor, put your hand up for everything. Once you finally start your career and you get a job, learn as much as you can. Do collections, do community engagement, do programming. When something new is happening, make sure that you're part of the group that is learning how to do the thing. Like become the resident expert. You'll be busy, but when you get to the point in your career where you want to be able to say like I'm ready to lead, you'll have the experience to back that up. So that would be the advice that I would give. And take leadership seriously too. So leadership is where your career naturally trends because of the way that libraries are structured. But if that's something that you're serious about, then read books about leadership specifically, not just about libraries, but figure out who you are as a leader and what you want that to look like. So think about managers, teachers, leaders who you've had throughout your life, who you've really admired, whose approach to things and the way that they treat people you agree with, and try to adopt that into the way that you behave, and that'll help get you ready for when that's the step that you want to take next.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jennifer, for sharing your vision for the future of public libraries and your advice for aspiring library professionals. Your insights are truly inspiring and provide us with valuable guidance as we embark on our own careers in the field. Now, Miss, we were wondering if there is anything you want to know about us, our team, our university, or our project. We'd be happy to answer any questions you may have to the best of our ability.
Yeah, I would love to hear about your program. What type of library do you all want to work in? Do you want to be in an academic library? Do you want to be in a public library? What type of work do you want to do?
If I myself, I like to be university academic library.
Okay. And the rest of you?
For me, Miss, I like I would like to public library. I'm happy to meet uh, more people.
Yeah. You have to love people to be in a public library. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. And the rest of you were undecided? Not sure where you want to go? Okay. How are you enjoying your program? What are you learning about?
Sometimes we enjoy, sometimes we feel like so messed with all of the tasks our lecturer gave us. But from all of this journey, we can take or learn everything. Like we learn how to communicate with people, how to uh, manage in library, like if kuliah apa ya? Mata kuliah apa? Uh, course we learn in our university, like archive, archive, and then um, how to manage statistic visitors in library, like that.
Yeah. It's a lot. One of the lovely things about working in libraries is there's so many different things that you can do. There's really something for everyone. So you'll never be bored. But it does get easier after you're done your schooling. Yeah. Okay. Well, those are all the questions that I had. So I'm so happy to meet you all, and I'm so glad that we got a chance to chat this morning. If anyone has any other questions for me that they would like to email after, then please feel free. I will respond in a somewhat timely fashion. If no one has any further questions for me, then I think I'll give you your morning back, and then hopefully that'll give you some time to do your homework.
Yes, I have one question.
Yeah.
In our country, librarian is underestimated. Like like apa ya? Nggak ini nggak dianggap gitu. Underrated. Nah, underrated like uh, why you work in library? People say gitu, Miss. Uh, can you explain what uh, people
How people perceive, like, how do people think about librarians?
yes, Miss.
Um, so there are stereotypes, obviously. Like people assume that you just sit at a desk and read all day, and that is not what we do. We are very busy taking care of people. So that's one thing that like people assume that that's what a librarian means. So there's what we know the job to be, which is very busy, very active, intellectually rigorous, because there is a lot of different, so much knowledge that you need to do the job well. But the public, if they haven't come to see us recently, they don't understand that. So I think globally that is a problem where if people don't frequently go to the library, then they don't quite understand how much they've changed in the past 20 years. So does that kind of answer your question?
Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your explanation. Uh, my friend Cindy would ask a question for you about.
Sure.
Alright, Miss, I tadi apa ya? I heard you say we over tablet and can take home. Is that really, Miss?
Yeah. So not to keep, to borrow. So the same way that you take home books and then you bring them back, we have tablets that are specifically for like hearing impaired folks. We put books like audiobooks on the tablet and then they can take it home, or sometimes they have a caregiver pick it up for them, and then that gives them access to library materials. We also have ones that are just like a tablet for digital access. So for people who like say they're going on a trip, or people who like can't afford something like that to buy to have for themselves, like they're going up to a cottage or they're going to visit someone and they don't have the money for their own device. We have stuff like that that you can borrow and bring back. Now if you break it, you have to pay for it, same way as everything else that you borrow, but that is something that we offer. Yep.
Miss, if the tablet break, yang ganti, yang ganti. Aduh, re- yang ganti repair. Re- repair the library or the people borrow.
If it breaks, who pays?
Yeah.
Yeah. The person who broke it. So if we break it, like when we're processing it, then we pay for the replacement because that was staff that broke it. If someone borrows it, they take it to a cottage, they break the screen or they drop it in the bathtub, then they have to pay for the replacement fee. But they agree to that when they take out the item on their account. So for special items like that, like we have sports equipment as well, if someone takes something like that home, then they have accepted responsibility. So they have said, if I break this, I understand that I will have to replace it. They don't break often. Usually people are very responsible.
Oh, Miss, the library must have a lot of people visiting. How much tablets your library have?
So not that many. It's not a popular service. I want to say for the accessible ones, um, like maybe 10 across the system, but they are quite popular. Um, we we don't have like hundreds and hundreds that go home. It's a very small first come first serve collection because they are expensive, right? So it's a specialized thing. We don't have enough to meet community demand. There are like more people would like for us to have them, but it's kind of who needs it most and who gets it first. If we had more money, then we'd have more.
So that is there procedure borrowing about these tablets? Special procedure like that, please?
Like, is there a fee? Like, is there a cost to borrow?
No, procedure like if you want to borrow this tablet,
Oh,
you
the
have
process?
yes, you have
Yeah, the procedure. Just borrowing. So there's the two tablets for the accessible ones. That's kind of a special request. So you place a hold, and then a staff member will contact you and ask what sorts of titles, what sorts of books you would like loaded onto the tablet. So that takes time. For the ones that are just to have a tablet that you can use for digital access, if it's at the branch and you have a card, you can take it right out. There's no special process.
Wow, that's very interesting, Miss. If that programs in Indonesia is it would very popular
Yeah.
facilities like that. Okay. Anything? Thank you so much for your patience to understanding what we say.
Yeah, of course. Take your time.
We are very happy and very grateful to have more insights from you. That's so I can't find word to express
Different. Yeah.
because this is our first time to communication with uh strangers in out of Indonesia, another
Oh, okay.
country.
Well, I'm honored.
Thank you so much.
Miss, I'm very happy that you want to join the discussion with us. I thought that Miss would ghosting us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're so welcome. It's so lovely to meet you all. And I wish you the best of luck with your studies. I'm sure that you're all doing a great job. Hang in there. I know it gets hard and it gets busy, but it will be worth it in the end. And I'm sure that you will all make amazing librarians when you graduate.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, our hearts are with you. Good luck. Okay.
Before we officially conclude, let me briefly summarize some of the key takeaways from our discussion today. We learned that a branch supervisor plays a vital role in balancing administrative tasks with community engagement, ensuring that the library meets the diverse needs of its patrons. Ms. Jennifer shared valuable insights into collection and development, technology adoption, and collaborative partnership, highlighting the importance of staying innovative and responsive to community needs. And we also discussed the challenges that libraries face, such as budget constriction and maintaining a safe and inclusive environment, and how these challenges can be overcome through creative solution and community support. Overall, this FDG has reinforced our understanding of the evolving role of public libraries in 21st century and the importance of passionate and dedicated professionals like Ms. Jennifer is leading this institution. And Ms. Jennifer, on behalf of my team and our lecturer, I would like to express our deepest gratitude for your time, expertise, and your willingness to share your experiences with us today. Your insights have been incredibly valuable and will greatly contribute to our understanding of library management and international collaboration. We also thank you for your patience and understanding, especially considering my limitation in English. We truly appreciate your willingness to participate in this FDG despite these challenges.
No, you're all doing great. It was my pleasure.
This discussion has not fulfilled our academic requirements, but has also broadened our perspectives on the important role that libraries play in communities around the world. We are truly inspired by your dedication and passion for your work. We would be honored to stay in touch with you to continue learning from your experiences. If you're open to it, we'd love to connect with you in LinkedIn, Instagram, or other platforms.
Yep. Ask me questions anytime.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And last, I also thank you for my team members for their hard work and dedication in preparing for this FDG. And a special thank you for our lecturer, but he will able to join with us today. Now, Miss, before we say our final goodbyes, we would love to capture this special moment with a group photo.
Okay.
Right. Siapa yang SS? Hah? Oh, boleh.
Miss, we really, really love you. We love you. Thank you
Aw.
very much.
One, two, three, say cheese. Udah. Okay, perfect. Thank you everyone for the lovely photo. With that, we officially conclude our focus group discussion. Thank you once again for your participation, Miss. We wish you a wonderful day.
Okay. Take care, everyone. Good luck. Thanks.
Thank you, Miss.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss.
Bye.
Miss.